The protagonist, Arash, is a man in his mid-40s who, after the tragic death of his wife, decides to move into an old, secluded house in the countryside to escape the painful memories of his past. The house he purchases is over 100 years old and had been abandoned for decades. As Arash settles in, he notices that the walls of the house are covered with large, antique mirrors, each one cracked and covered with layers of dust. From the very first night, Arash feels uneasy. Whenever he glances into these mirrors, something seems off. Reflections don't align with reality. Shadows flicker in the background even when there's nothing behind him. He starts hearing faint whispers emanating from the mirrors when he's alone in the house. Whispers that seem to call his name, Arash, Arash. One night, Arash decides to investigate. He removes the dust from one of the larger mirrors in his bedroom, hoping to find some logical explanation for his unease. As he stares into it, he notices the faint outline of a woman standing behind him, but when he turns around, there's no one there. He turns back to the mirror, and the woman is clearer now, dressed in an old, tattered white dress, with long black hair obscuring her face. Suddenly, her head tilts upwards, and her eyes meet his through the mirror's reflection. Her mouth moves, but instead of words, a guttural, chilling sound emerges. In a panic, Arash steps back, tripping over a chair and crashing to the floor. The woman in the mirror, however, doesn't move. She just stares at him with hollow, empty eyes. The following day, desperate to understand what's happening, Arash visits the local town library to learn more about the house's history. He discovers that it once belonged to a woman named Layla, who was accused of witchcraft over a century ago. According to legend, she was obsessed with mirrors, believing they were gateways to another realm. Layla was found dead in the house, surrounded by broken mirrors, with her eyes gouged out. Terrified, Arash returns home, only to find that all the mirrors are now spotless and reflect the rooms with eerie clarity. He decides to cover them with sheets, hoping to block whatever malevolent force is haunting him. But that night, the whispers return, louder than ever, chanting, "Join us, join us." Over the next few nights, Arash's sanity begins to unravel. He avoids looking into the mirrors, but every time he glances at them, he sees more figures, shadowy, distorted shapes pressing against the glass as if trying to break through. Each night, they come closer, and he feels their cold breath on his neck even when he isn't facing the mirrors. One evening, as he's trying to sleep, he hears the sound of glass shattering. He rushes to the living room, only to find that one of the mirrors has fallen and shattered on the floor. In its place, he sees a doorway made of jagged, reflective shards. From within the darkness of this doorway, the woman in white reaches out with long, bony fingers, her voice echoing in his head, "You cannot escape." Arash tries to run, but he finds himself paralyzed, as if invisible hands are holding him in place. The woman's reflection multiplies in every piece of shattered glass around him, surrounding him, closing in from every angle. He's forced to look into her empty eyes, and in that moment, he understands she isn't just a ghost. She is a part of the mirrors, a trapped soul seeking to escape, and she wants to take him with her. In the final moments, Arash feels himself being pulled into the largest mirror. His reflection disappears, and all that remains is the woman's twisted smile. When the house is discovered years later, new owners find it exactly as it was. But with one disturbing addition, a new figure stands behind the mirrors. A man with terror-stricken eyes, trapped forever, unable to escape.